The views and opinions expressed in this podcast are those of the hosts and guests and do not necessarily reflect the official policy or position of the podcast platform, its affiliates, or even the hosts. The information provided is for general informational purposes only and should not be taken as legal, financial, or professional advice. The host and guests are not liable for any errors of omission in the content, nor for any losses, injuries, or damages arising from the use of the information provided. Listeners are encouraged to seek professional advice relevant to their specific circumstances. Now enjoy the show.
You heard what the lady said. Don't blame us for the stuff we about to say.
It don't be that crazy, do it?
No, because usually Lady D is here to stop us from our madness, but she ain't here today. So I'm sorry in advance. Thank God for disclaimers.
Man, we down there running with scissors.
I know.
Anyway.
With a drink in our hand. Yes.
Oh, man. What you got? What we got cracked? First of all, welcome to the Ops. I am one Mike.
I am RG.
Yep, we got RG in the building. With that being said, what we got for him today?
Man, this show is action-packed, dog.
Uh-oh.
Oh, man.
I know. When I called you earlier, you was already excited about it. So I know you got some stuff.
Some episodes, man, just get me hyped, man. This is one of them. Okay, so let's do the rundown, shall we?
Let's go.
The Chiefs aren't the only people to suffer an L at the Super Bowl.
Uh-oh. I can imagine.
AD and the PlayStation Network got hurt over the weekend.
I don't like how you threw the PlayStation under the bus like that either.
And the Lakers rescinded their trade request with Charlotte.
That hurt.
So,
that one hurt.
I know that sucks.
I want to talk about that too, but you know.
Yeah, we basketball and football heavy today. And tonight's topic, you already know what time it is. We're talking about the big game. It's recap, aka the Super Bowl. We definitely talking about that at the top of the hour. So we gotta get all the basketball stuff out the way in our personal lives, and then we got literally from 8:30 till then the Super Bowl.
Of course, then you got Mike Isms. You got I don't know if you got any petty bill today.
I know you got one. I know I got one.
I don't know if I got one today, man. We'll talk about it. You know how I usually, you know how I don't usually have one until we really get into it. But with that being said, make sure y'all like, share, and subscribe. Thank y'all so much for tuning in as always. And ain't nothing left to do but get this thing started. So go ahead, Maestro.
And we are back and better than ever. And they already know what time it is in the chat. Check this out, dog. We already starting early. Probably A minor.
Already. What's up, Kim?
Well, what up, do, Kim?
So glad to see you again.
Man.
Yeah, man. How was your weekend?
It was straight, man. A little quiet, but it was straight, man. I'm trying to think. Friday, was at mom's house working on her crib. Big shout out to mom. We had a pretty nice time. I was putting in some lighting for her. Okay. And then Saturday I was caught up with the family a little bit and shot some moves. Big shout out to my big bro Mark. He's one of my dad's old longtime friends, and he pulling up like a big brother doing. He's helping out with the crib and stuff like that. So big shout out to the homie. And Sunday was old school, man. I got up early. Hit the Sam's Club, go shopping out the way, and then the kid hit me right here in the heart spot. He's like, "Dad, let's play Super Mario Brothers and do 100% completion like the old days." I was like, "Oh,
y'all played the original?"
Yep, played the original Super Mario World on the big screen. Then we got the Super Bowl on the side screen, and we played literally from like 12, I think like 1 o'clock at noon till the Super Bowl went off.
Okay,
so, yeah, it was pretty dope to play video games with kids like the old days, man.
Yeah. Side by side, not online.
Yeah. Legit, like take turns, like old school.
Yeah, you got out my turn. That's kind of dope. That's dope. Sound like you had a good weekend.
Yeah, I didn't get to do everything I planned to do. Like some other things got in the way, but at least I got some good life stuff in, and that's super important, man.
Yeah.
So for everybody that didn't catch up with this weekend, we always got next weekend. I promise you, we got next weekend.
Definitely. My weekend was pretty good. First off, shout out to Precious and I. Thank y'all so much as always for supporting and watching. All right. With that being said, Friday was a little downer. I wanted to get off work, play a little PlayStation. Couldn't because of, whatever they got going on. That was trash. Saturday.
PlayStation in there, Bill Dog.
Yeah, we're going to be talking about this. That's the petty. That's the petty deal. I once I said that, I was like, oh, yeah, that is what we talked about. And that hurt a little bit. I really ain't got much to say about it. I mean, because I wasn't alone in this, but we'll get to it. Saturday was a chill day. Sunday, y'all know, I hooped, and then I watched the game, got to chill with my father, my brother, my mom.
Oh, big shout out.
Yeah, we sat around and watched the game. And then that was pretty much it, man. Just chilled out. We'll talk about the Super Bowl. It was a little anticlimactic, but it was cool.
Perfect, sir. It was perfect. Oh yeah.
All right, so Precious joined in the chat. She says, "Hey fam,
what up, sis?"
Yep.
Shout out.
Yes. So, where do you want to start off with?
Let's get this basketball out the way because basketball has been popping last week too. We kind of touched on it. Oh, pause. But we kind of talked about it a little bit, but really didn't go into depth because a lot of stuff happened. I'm impressed with the NBA. For them not to really have any compelling stories, they made the trade deadline something I actually had to pay attention to. So shout out to them.
Okay, let's go with the NBA.
Yep. As soon as I get the mouse in the right place. Oh, there it is. Big shout out to everyone who just joined in. Welcome to the show. A lot of people are following in now, so we appreciate y'all pulling up. Yeah. So we're going to take a step back. Before we go forward, we got to take a step back. We're going to talk about the NBA trade deadline, dog, because a lot of stuff kind of happened last week, and it was interesting.
Yeah, I wanted to get your opinions on a couple things, but go ahead. You lead it off. Fire away.
All right. So we're going to start with Jimmy Butler. He ended up in Golden State. Okay. They got rid of Andrew Wiggins and sent him back to the Miami Heat, which I'm sure he was happy about that. Probably not. So,
I don't know what Miami is looking like right now, but I'm okay with this deal to go to State for Jimmy Butler. Fresh start for him. I don't know what I know after watching the game. What was that? Not yesterday, day before, I think. It wasn't a bad look,
Yeah, what I feel bad for? I feel bad for Andrew Wiggins. Every time I turn around, he gets swapped out for another superstar. Remember, he got yeeted from Cleveland because LeBron came back. Okay. So every time he gets settled, they yeet him for somebody they think is better. And he's a cold player. He's okay. I feel like they should put some respect on his name. Dude, because they don't win that last championship without Andrew Wiggins. He balled out.
He definitely did. But there was a lot of times where he was not there.
Right.
I think it was an upgrade, but to get Jimmy Butler, somebody that plays defense and can turn it on and whatever. But I really do. I'm not mad about that deal. I felt like Golden State was getting stale anyway, so I think this gave him a little charge.
So not getting rid of Draymond would not do more, or there's no buyers for Draymond because I feel like you can't duplicate what he does, but I feel like you can get somebody more skilled. Is that fair to say?
Yeah.
I feel like he's in that big Wallace category. He only works there for what he does.
But I feel like Draymond's still an intricate part to where I think if you're gonna blow up the team, I think that's when I don't know. I think Draymond until they blow up the team, as I think Draymond gonna be there as long as Steph is there.
All right, I see that. Like the time like Pippen, Jordan, stuff like that.
Kind of, unless Draymond do something reckless and it's not available again this season. But I ain't gonna say he's on his best behavior, but it don't seem like he's on that trek to get 17 texts in the next 2 weeks or anything like that. Right. So
he ain't made SportsCenter for the wrong reasons.
I don't think he's been on his. We ain't seen him choking nobody out, drop kicking somebody in the nuts or anything like that. I think so far he's been a typical NBA player. We ain't heard too much from him, so that's the only problem I think we have with Draymond. I think his basketball is still necessary for what Golden State is trying to do.
Got it. Let's talk about your beloved Pistons. And mine too. I'm a Piston fan, by the way.
Way to come back, full circle, man. We happy to have you here.
The Lions, yes. I'm not a fan of the Lions, admittedly, even though I'm happy for their success, but I've always been a Piston fan. I never turned my back on the Pistons.
Okay, fair enough.
Yep, they've done things in my lifetime that I can remember and have fond feelings about. So, yes.
Okay, so you have a history with the Pistons off their winning ways. Lions never gave you that warm, fuzzy championship win yet.
Being young Royal, 1990, can't touch this, winning a championship. Oh my gosh, dude, marking out for Isaiah and Aguirre and all them cats. Oh hell yeah!
You know what's funny about what you bring up the Pistons back in the day is like me and Brandon was talking about. There's some Piston players on that roster that I had no clue of who they were, where they're from, and the fact that a couple of them, I think one of them got 2 rings, and I did not know this guy's name at all.
Right.
And we came up, we said, oh my God, that would be an amazing trivia question. Because somebody like me who thinks I know everything about the 88. And I don't know this guy, never seen pictures. I'm looking at the poster I got behind me, and I don't even they don't even have photos of these guys on this, championship team or whatever. So whenever y'all get a chance, check out that 88, 89 roster and the 89, 90 roster of the Pistons. I guarantee it's about 3 players, maybe 4 that you don't know. I know a couple of them, like Gerald Henderson and I know Finis Dembo.
All right.
But it's
Chuck Nevitt. Remember Chuck Nevitt?
I only know of him because they just talked about him on the last. But I heard, to be honest with you, I think he is he's an intricate part to the Pistons' legacy.
But he's a folk hero. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Who else you got?
That was my main one that I already remember. I don't know why I remember Chuck Nevitt more than anything, because usually when we're up by 45, Chuck Nevitt come out there and do 2 minutes, and everybody goes crazy. You know what I'm saying?
So he was the cigar.
He was Victory Cigar.
The Victory Cigar. Yep. All right, but to talk about the Pistons of now.
So they got Dennis Schroeder from the Utah Jazz, right?
Yes.
You love it?
I love it. Okay,
I think
he's the perfect fit. Go ahead.
So it doesn't trouble you that my man played for literally 7 teams in 4 years, right? After he turned down that $84 million from the Lakers. That don't bother you that he can't stay on the team?
So
I'm asking objectively. I'm not saying that to throw shade.
No, with that, I think he gambled on himself and lost with the Lakers.
You reckon?
Yeah. So he you win some, you lose some, but he remained a professional. I think he's in a good position. I hope he understands that, because we need a veteran guard like him. I think that he brings a feistiness and a defense that goes right along with B. Stu, Ron Holland, and now you got him. Dennis Schroeder is one of those players that if he's not on your team, you probably don't like him. You know what I mean?
What up, Joanne?
Welcome
to the show.
Yes. But yeah, so I really like the addition to Dennis Schroeder. The only thing the thing that hurts a little bit is it takes minutes away from a couple other guys that I really like on the team. One of them being Sasser. I really like him, and I like Fontecchio. But
all right,
go ahead.
No, I was going to say I was going to reset for the people. What we're talking about is we're talking about the NBA trade deadline, and a lot of teams' championship dreams and playoff dreams are pretty much made or break, right? Make or break right at the trade.
Right. I got you. You good.
So, yeah. So that's pretty much a crucial part of the NBA season is being able to see what you got and seeing if you can add a piece to actually win the championship. For example, for Detroiters, we ended up getting
Dennis Schroeder, and I don't know the other guy.
No, I'm talking about like old school. Because remember, we ended up with
you say Rasheed
Mark Aguirre. Rasheed Waller and Mark Aguirre pretty much was like our actual catalyst to take us to the championship. So a lot of teams are using that formula to do it.
You know,
one thing I realized, we talk a lot of sports, so I tried to explain it more.
I got you. I understand. You're doing good. You're doing great.
Thank you. We ain't got Lady D to be like, yo, what the hell does that mean? So
yeah, you're right. But yeah, I love the trade. The fact that we got Dennis Schroeder. What do you think about it?
No, I think it's cool. I think we have a solid point guard. I really don't feel like I want to see him as. I don't see him as a starter.
No.
I feel like we have established starters. I feel like if he could be a sixth man, and if he outplays somebody, he becomes a starter. But I don't think he comes in to be a starter.
I don't think. I think in the capacity that we need him, that's points off the bench. That's somebody kind of keep everything in control. He's not. I don't expect him to be like a complete floor general, but for that second team that comes in, he can be that. And I don't know, it's just another piece, another weapon. And that's what I love most about it. What's next?
All right, let's take a peek here. What we got? Okay, so we already know about the big trade from last week, pretty much where the Dallas Mavericks set their whole franchise on fire.
I don't think so, man. But okay, so all right, so
let me finish this to tell people. So last week the Lakers traded Anthony Davis for Luka Doncic, right?
Mm-hmm.
So in other words, the Mavericks took their best player and they traded him to the Lakers to put with another great player for a guy who's really good, Hall of Famer, but can't stay healthy. That'd be Anthony Davis. So keep going, bro.
All right, so all I was gonna say, I know there's a lot of doubters in what Dallas can do. I think if AD is available, and I know a lot of people are laughing with that statement, if AD can be healthy, because he just got injured Saturday night, I believe.
Yep, non-contact injury. He'll be out for a definite period for an abductor strain.
I don't even know what an abductor is. I think it has something to do with your hips, but
I don't know what it is, but it's starting to be almost done, buddy. I don't know how many more times you can spin yourself out of the league, bro.
I know, and it hurts because he was balling out. If you look at his numbers from that game, it's exactly what Dallas needed. I think it puts Jason Kidd in the. I'm talking from a point of view of AD being healthy.
Right.
So keep that in mind for now, and then we'll talk about the injury history. Because when I first heard the deal, I was like, "Ooh, that might not be that bad."
Right.
Lakers get better in the future. I don't think they win now, but that's yet to be seen. I think they're good, but I think they need. Now they don't have any big men because they had to send the one guy back to Charlotte, so that hurt. And then you got Connect, who got traded. I wonder what his mental is like.
They got a job.
He got traded and brought back, and it's like, damn, y'all don't even want me type of stuff.
Well, it's the business of the NBA. I think at this
point, I'm a rookie.
I
know I'm a rookie, so I still got that young mentality. You know what I mean? Like I don't know the business like that yet. I know
you just learned the first lesson.
I know, and that's crazy. That's so crazy. But going back to Dallas, I did think that they had another scorer. They got Kyrie. They got what's the guy from Golden? Thompson.
Yep.
And I think they had a really good complete team. Now that AD is down, I know that took the wind. I know it took the wind out my sail. It took the wind out my sail because I'm gonna be honest with you. I was willing to put money on Dallas to be in the Western Conference Finals.
Oh, you're kind. You're super kind. I don't see them getting back without Luka. I just don't. Because he's the reason they got there in the first place.
He is, but Luka don't play no defense, man. And I know they made it last year. I think I want to go back and look at who they have to go through. It was a young Minnesota team that they pretty much sweep.
Yeah.
And and then I don't know who they played before. I think the hardest I can't remember, but I'll go back and do my research on that. But Luka is good. And I just think I don't know if Dallas was I don't know if Jason Kidd knew how to get the ball out of his hands. To reserve him for the playoffs, for the champion. Because by the end of the season, 9 times out of 10, Luka is broken down.
Right.
Kind of like the New York Knicks, the whole starting lineup of the Knicks when the playoffs, get down to the conference finals and the finals. Like, come on, man. Like, you got to find a way to leave some gas in the tank for your star players. And I don't think Jason Kidd knew how to kind of manage him on top of making sure that he don't have to get exposed on defense too. But you're right, he made it to the finals, and they pretty much got swept in the finals because Luka. I want to say he kind of ran out of gas.
I think so too because they had to go through Golden State, they had to go through the Suns, and who else? And of course they ended up facing Boston in the championships.
Yeah. So I mean that's no easy test. I think who was the AC? Was it the Suns? I think it was the Suns.
Probably so.
Yeah, but that's neither here nor there. But I feel like the Lakers will be good probably next year, just because they got to retool that starting lineup. They don't have no bigs.
Yeah. And I think that's a league problem. I don't think it's just them because there's a lot of people that's tall as hell. They just can't hoop.
But
just think about it. We were talking about Hachimura literally a couple years ago, and now it's like he's still in the Lakers. So it's a skill problem that they can't feel in the NBA.
But also, so like when you go in the West, you got more big men to contend with in the playoffs, right? So like I feel like you got Jokic. That's gonna be a problem.
Wemby.
You got Wemby. You got I know he ain't the most, it's gonna be hard to score in the paint with what's his face in there. What's his name from Minnesota?
Oh, crap! I know what you're talking about because
he's not really an offensive threat, but you gotta give. What was I about to say? Courtside, you know who I'm talking about, though.
Yeah, I do.
So you got Utah. You got Minnesota. You got Denver. You got San Antonio, who I think is gonna be a player in the finals. I mean, not in the finals, but in the playoffs.
Yeah.
You got Houston up and coming. I like their center, Sengun. So I don't think it's going to be easy for the Lakers to make it in. I'm curious to see how Luka and LeBron mesh together because they both are ball dominant. So
I honestly think you're going to see a transition because I think they brought him there to learn how to be the guy. Okay. And the only way you learn how to be the guy is you got to learn from the guy. So I think you're going to see his fitness go up. I think he's going to be a better player because he gets to play next to LeBron.
Okay. My problem.
Rudy Gobert is the center for the Timberwolves, by the way.
Rudy Gobert.
I know you hate him, though, by the way.
Hate is such a strong word. We reserve that for others. But
for Scottie Pippen, that's only for Scottie Pippen. God.
Hey, but okay, I never seen Luka play without the ball in his hands. I never seen him do a catch and shoot. I'm used to him, dominating the ball and passing to the right place. So maybe I don't see how you don't start both of them. LeBron. So, but it's only one basketball. That's why I'm curious to see. I'm not saying that it can't be done, but most people always a lot of people take a step back when they're on the court with LeBron James. So,
bro, we've already seen this. What if I told you this ain't nothing but the Cleveland Cavaliers again? They had two with Kyrie. This is the Cleveland Cavaliers with Kyrie again, bro.
But
they didn't remember. They had a cold point guard, which this time it's Luka, and they had LeBron, and then they had a bunch of dudes. Because Kevin Love was cool, but he turned into technically a rebounder. And that year where Delly was an outlier because everyone else bones fell off their carcasses. But other than that, this is the Cleveland Cavaliers to me again.
It's a little bit different to me because I feel like Kyrie, he thought he could be Batman, and if you look at his trajectory, when he did get to be the leader on the team, that team didn't do so well. But when he was robbing, like with Luka, you know what I'm saying? Like Dallas, he found a home. But when he went to Boston, he was supposed to be the man. It didn't work. When he went to Brooklyn with KD and Harden, that actually, I think that would have worked. But injuries, hindered.
Yeah.
And then when he finally got with Dallas and, he accepted his role, it's kind of like, okay, Luka go, then I go kind of thing. It worked out. I don't see this work because their games are too similar. You know what I'm saying? But like I said, I ain't going to say I don't see it working out. I'm just curious to see how it works out and how it plays out.
Right. I think I think LeBron will still be the top dog for this season. And I think as LeBron finishes out, you'll see him defer more because that was the play with AD. AD was supposed to take over the Lakers when LeBron stepped away. There was always a plan of succession with the Lakers. So I don't see that changing just because Luka's in the building. I think he becomes the successor to LeBron.
Oh, yeah, he definitely is. That's why I said I think I give it a year or two. And I feel like they still got a move to make. I know the trade deadline is over, but I believe you can still sign players that get released or whatever.
Yeah, because who your boy? I forgot. Someone just gone to they picked them up off waivers. No, Simmons, Ben Simmons. They picked him up off waivers. I want to say it was Clippers or somebody. Clippers picked him up off waivers. So yeah, you can still pick
people still think they got some hope in that guy. I'm not gonna say I gave up on, but I wouldn't be happy if the Pistons picked him up.
Bro, hey, that guy can ball. I don't know what it is between his brain. I've seen him live. That guy is a monster.
But when you saw him in his All-Star state. Something happened. It's almost like the Monstars came, like he was a monster. And they took his superpowers, man. I don't know what happened, but So my thing is, how many more years do you give him? How many more tries do you get? Maybe he needs.
When you're picking him up off waivers and he's tall and he can shoot, hey, why not?
Well, not shoot. That left too. Well, he never had a shot. But I mean, like, if he can get the opportunity and keep getting the bag, get it.
Go for it.
Yep.
I got one more, and then we'll go up on break because we got a little bit of football talk because I want to laugh at somebody in football, but that's after the break. But big shout out to Hubie Brown. A lot of people are like, who the hell is Hubie Brown? He's a legendary coach and a legendary broadcaster. He's been in the business 50 years. He's been on everybody's broadcast from the old CBS days with Brent Musburger up until he was with Mike Breen as of Sunday. Mm-hmm. He's 91 years old, and he had his final game on Sunday. And you will be greatly missed because I remember summertime listening to him and watching him on TV. So big shout out to you, sir.
Yeah, one of the biggest things about Hubie Brown that I think that people love and respect the most is how he explained the game as it was in real time.
Absolutely. I can honestly say I learned a lot from listening to Hubie back in the days and currently.
Yeah.
Shout out to Michelle with 1L in the building.
Hey, Michelle. Yeah. But yeah, so Hubie Brown, just a great commentator, man. I see some commentators and analysts that like kind of it seems like they get their cue from him. Like he's been in the business so long, you can't help but learn from the great. So his voice will be missed, Hopefully he still comes back around and do a couple cameos or something,
Yeah, because at 91, I ain't trying to sound funny, but the clock is ticking, so we gotta enjoy him while we can.
We'll talk about that off the air.
Yeah. I didn't want to say nothing like that sounds mad disrespectful. So yeah, we'll just leave it right there and hit this break. That's one thing about people who get about 100. Ain't nothing you can say that don't sound disrespectful.
I mean, look at what happened to Rick. What's his name? Paterno? Not Rick Pitino. What's his name?
Joe Paterno.
Yeah. He left the scene and,
But see, low key, I'm gonna hit break after this because it's about to be horrible.
Yeah,
he left a crime scene, sir. So yeah, he had to go. Let's go to break.
Tap into your essence with a Divine Essence candle. Candles that soothe your soul and balance your chakras. Each candle has an affirmation inscribed on each jar to help help you stay grounded, create balance and harmony. Use code DE20 for 20% off your first purchase at divineessence.us.
What up, peeps? RG from a United Front. Got a quick question for you. Have you always dreamed about podcasting, but you don't know where to start or what even platform to use? Well, I can answer one of them questions for you from the start. Make StreamYard your first investment in your podcast future. StreamYard's easy to use, and it allows you to go live in multiple platforms at once. So, Facebook, YouTube, Instagram, you can stream them all at the same time. Show us some love. That's my point. When you open up a StreamYard account, use that link below. That actually gives us some love so we can keep producing the same content, and you can also be using the same high quality technology we use to bring the content to your internet browser. So please and thank you in advance. Go StreamYard, go United Front. Talk to you later.
Lunar Love by Denise, where everything is handmade in small batches. You can reach me at my Etsy website or at my email address and place your order. I'm also known as Lady D. Thank you.
The rest of the show is about football. I might as well get that out the way because you already know what we're talking about for the rest of the show.
But before we get into that, man, how you spike that surf before the break?
Hey, bro, I just don't make enough of my own personal money to say all the horrible things I be thinking. So
that was perfect. But anyway,
bro, once we start paying ourselves, all bets are off.
Fair enough. Let's go ahead and talk some football.
All right. So we only got one story before we talk about Super Bowl. Aaron Glenn is probably the smartest man on the planet because he is not renewing Aaron Rodgers, which I'm like, good. Why start out with a loser? Get the hell out of here. Bye, Aaron Rodgers. Bye. So that's it. I just want to talk about Aaron Rodgers.
Who they starting quarterback going to be. Not saying that I need
anybody but him because he got Robert Saleh fired with his pure disrespect for that man. He got that man fired.
He did.
So, man, whatever. Bye. Bye, bro.
Well, he said it with his chest. Bye.
So, with that being said, let's talk about the big topic, the big game, a.k.a. the Super Bowl. Due to branding, we can say it. We just can't spray it. That's why you don't see it on our branding. Yeah.
Gotcha.
That's real.
Yep. And that's what you were trying to tell me last week.
Indeed.
I think that's what you was putting down.
So, tell me, sir, your thoughts.
About the Super Bowl?
Yes, sir.
Overall, okay, I took a few notes here.
I know you did, because that's Mike. That's what he does.
I want to talk about all the people who say that the NFL is scripted. The Kansas City Chiefs are, basically the NFL is cheating for. I know. Hey, you're not alone. You're not alone.
It's me.
No. I'm not calling you out. I'm calling. I'm giving you the reason why I put my money on the Kansas City Chiefs.
Oh no, no, it ain't so. No,
I took a little small wager, nothing crazy, nothing else. Gonna be like, oh, I'm taking all my.
$9 million like that dude did last weekend. Weekend.
Yeah, no, not like that. So this is the first time in a long time I think I bet with what I thought was I bet against my heart and I lost. So most people don't do that. Most people bet with their, when they bet with their heart is because they, really want this team to win. I went against my heart because I got tired of losing. And when I say that, I'm talking about the Kansas City Chiefs and how I felt like all through the playoffs they were getting calls that they shouldn't have got. So instead of talking about that, I was like, well, why not just join that page since I know the outcome that usually happens? I'm gonna put my money where the cheaters are, and you know,
that's facts though.
You know, and I gambled on that, and I got the wrong script. Because
it just fascinated me how they called it down the middle, and it was a blowout. So that just shows to show you the Texans should have been there. You know what I'm saying? There were so many teams that could have ran them out the paint. Buffalo. Yeah. Oh man, dude, them little calls.
Oh, I got
shout out to Aya.
Aya, what's up, boo? But yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, it just showed you like how like fragile they were. I felt like anybody that pulled up in the Super Bowl, if they were calling down the middle, would have beat them. So Detroit was in play, Buffalo was in play, the Ravens was in play. You know what I'm saying? I just felt like whoever showed up to this game, that was a dub. If they played it straight down the middle, be totally honest.
What's crazy is that I don't understand how Buffalo lost, but I'm just saying with the way the Eagles had played, it's crazy. But I digress. The game.
Well, remember, they won a lot of one-score games. Where, in other words, they kept it close enough where they could squeak out a win. For example, you get a random pass interference with 2 minutes left in the game. That's damn near game over if you score.
I know we were beat up when we played the Bills. Like, I mean, we've been beat up all season, but the way that the Bills handled us should have been the same way the Bills should have handled the Chiefs, in which the Eagles handled the Chiefs as well. You know what I'm saying? Like the Eagles, the Eagles. Oh my God, the game after the second quarter. Well, in the middle of the second quarter, the game was so underwhelming because now I'm looking at the game like this is. Like you said earlier, what started as an exhibition just turned into a catastrophe. I mean, it was nasty work against for Mahomes. Like interception after interception, getting sacked.
They didn't
run the ball.
They didn't even score to the third quarter. That was
I know, man. And, I know them squares was looking crazy. Those football squares.
Yeah. Whoever had zero, they probably cleaned up.
Exactly, because I think it was like for 3 quarters, 0 was on. Well, for 2 quarters, 0 was on the board.
First quarter was 0-7. Then
0-17.
Then they finally got on board with 6 in the third, and then they got 16 in the fourth, which was technically garbage time. Because this score looked like it was higher than what it was, or better. The game was better than it was, and it wasn't.
No, and the funny thing is, I didn't even think that I thought it was going to be a closer scoring game, and I also thought it was going to be a lower scoring game. I thought it was going to be under 46 points, but shoot, it was at 60. What was it, 62, something like that?
Yeah, 60. Yo, you got on there. Okay. Like 62.
Yeah,
but they got to keep somebody's pockets fat. You know what I mean? That's probably like the trade off. Like we'll take the points instead of taking the win.
That was crazy. But overall, man, like I was happy for the Eagles. Mad that not so much mad that I lost my dad. Of course, I like to win money, but like my heart wanted the Eagles to win. My pockets thought that Kansas City would.
No, I didn't even bet this time. I was just like, these SOBs must be stopped. I didn't give a dang who beat them. All them Globetrotters, the A-team. I didn't give a damn who beat them. These SOBs need to be stopped. I was like, I don't care.
Why did you feel that way?
Because, bro, I think what actually turned – because I'm not a Kansas City hater, first of all. Okay. But what turned my heart was that Texan game. And that atrocity that they pulled on the Texans pissed me off so bad. And I remember I told you about that. Like, that Texans game was so bad that it almost put a damper on a terrific season of football. I haven't enjoyed, like, an NFL season like this in a long time. And that whole thing with Patrick Mahomes slowing down just so he can get pushed so they can give him a 15-yard penalty, bullshit like that, excuse my French. And then the two guys tackle each other, and just because they're near Patrick Mahomes, they get another 15-yard penalty. Are you kidding me? Yeah, they got to get them out the paint, dog. They got to go.
All right, so they didn't get a chance to three-peat. Super Bowl. Oh, I got some questions outside of the game, but I want to stay within the game, right? For the most part.
We got to leave time for the halftime.
Yeah. Was it anything else that was that you noticed in this game that the Eagles were doing?
Well, pressure. Okay. One thing, they had pressure on the quarterback, and then they had somebody underneath watching them. They always kept a spy. And I'm going to explain that with the people. A lot of times with defenses, what they do is they try to do what they call a man cover. Everybody covers somebody to protect the pass. This time they cheated. What they would do is they would send a whole bunch of guys to try to get the quarterback. When he runs, they still got a man sitting like kind of in the middle of the field watching the quarterback to see where he throws the ball so he can actually catch it. And it worked. So he didn't have any outlets. Travis Kelce's hands were Swiss cheese. He couldn't catch a cold. And it worked.
A few drop passes that, goodness. It wasn't good. It wasn't good. I felt like they didn't run the ball enough early on. I felt like, and that was a big problem. And then once you got to the point where you couldn't run the ball no more because you're down by so many points, it just got uglier and uglier. But I don't know
I remember they started the game on their heels. I don't think they ever got into their offense ever.
Yeah, so like I feel like
they started out
in order to get off your heels, you know what I'm saying? Like you got to run the ball early, and same thing with I was just talking to Brandon about the Lions. Mm-hmm. The Lions, whenever Jared Goff throws I don't really want to see Jared Goff throw the ball more than 20. I think I said 24 to 28 times in the game. After that is too much because I feel like we have the offensive line in the running game to continue to run the ball. So I think that's what Kansas City should have done, but they didn't, and they are where they are. Yes.
One other thing I observed, and this will knock you dead. I honestly believe that the Chiefs thought if they stopped Saquon, they would win. I honestly believe that because their pass defense was so heavy, they forgot that the quarterback can throw. He got guns.
But guns. I ain't gonna lie, I would have preferred to lose that way than let Saquon Barkley get off. But when you giving them great offensive field position, it doesn't even matter no more whether he can pass you or stop the run. Saquon had a decent game, but it wasn't. They got beat out the air like you said. They was giving the ball up and plus territory to Philly. Like I think Philly's average starting position was inside the 50 every time. It seemed like
because Kansas City had like 49 rushing yards for the game, dog. That's crazy. They only rushed for one first down in the game. That's crazy, bro. Yeah, that's crazy.
Yes. So, quick questions I got for like Super Bowl overall.
Yes, sir.
Do you think it should be played on Saturday? Are you opposed to it?
I'm not opposed to it, but why? Because it's just like it's almost like a unofficial holiday. You know what I'm saying?
I want it on Saturday, so I feel like
Saturday?
I do because I don't want to. We all call off. Everybody calls off. I went to work today, but
I went to work too. Yeah.
A lot of people call off work from home, whatever. If it's on a Saturday, you don't have those issues. You can make a whole festive weekend of it. If you go out of town, like to New Orleans or whatever, you got that. Maybe you go there Thursday, Friday, Saturday, spend a little time Sunday, and then come back. You know what I mean?
Bro, I'm telling you, you could put it on any day of the week. Somebody ain't coming to work tomorrow, bro. They just they already made that business decision when they hit the TV on.
That's just the cherry on top.
Right.
Some argument, but yeah. So you for the Super Bowl being on Sundays, like continue the tradition.
I'm cool with either. I like the tradition, but I'm cool either way. You know what I mean? My thing is like, what the hell do we do on Sundays if the Super Bowl ain't there? Because think about it,
recovery. You got one more day to recover. I get you though. Okay. That wasn't a bad point.
At work. You know what I'm saying?
I don't like hangovers at work. Where I work at. But yeah. No, you brought up a good point though. You said, what are we gonna do on Sundays? I was like, recover. Right. So what about the commercials? What did you think about? And then let's get into the halftime show after.
The commercial was like they were there, but it was nothing else that I think the only thing that stood out to me was like I think it was either a DoorDash commercial, and they had like the Kool-Aid Man. Everybody was like busting ass down the street to run to somebody's porch. I thought that was cool.
I didn't even see that one.
Yeah, it was mad random. Like all the stuff that you buy in the store was human form, and it was running out the store, and then it all landed in somebody's bag on a porch. I thought that was kind of dope.
Okay.
But that's the only thing I can recall that had caught my attention. Other than that, I was like, commercials.
I know, man. I feel like they're not like what we used to. Like that was one of the staples was the commercials, and I felt like somewhere we took a few steps back. Especially with all the money that they're spending. It's so many commercials from the past that I used to love, and I still love. Like, what was the one with the job with the monkeys? I don't know if you remember that.
She's agreeing with the Super Bowl commercials.
Yeah.
I know what you're talking about, but they had a stat. The first Super Bowl, the 30-second ad was $40,000.
Mm-hmm.
And now it's $8 million for a 30-second commercial.
And these commercials are terrible.
Yes, I did see that. Like, if I got a heart attack, you think I'm gonna let them drive me to New York to go to the best hospital in the world? I felt like you set somebody's money on fire for nothing. Great, you're the best hospital in the country. I live in Michigan. I'm not flying to Michigan with a heart attack to go.
I know. I didn't see that commercial either. However, maybe it should have been. I mean, even if you lied, they should have did a New Orleans, local. Like, hey, if you're ever in New Orleans and you have a heart attack, you know what I'm saying?
Yes.
All right, Michelle says the Super Bowl used to be for entertainment commercials and all. That's
yeah. I've seen better years with better commercials. It was all right.
Don't let me forget. I want to ask you a question about. It's a commercial in particular that I'm starting to see a lot of these kind of commercials during the Super Bowl. I seen it last year and it came back up this year. I'll do it. We'll do it later. Okay. Let's get to the halftime because I know you're so anxious to get there.
Well, okay, so that's full disclosure, right? The only reason I watched the Super Bowl show because I'm a hip hop head and there was history happening. So I knew it was going to be some problems when the guy came out with a chain that had a small A. I was like, oh no, it's going to be one of those nights.
Go ahead and put yourself on you seem like you got a whole little soliloquy for this. So go ahead and put yourself on ISO.
Thank you, sir. I appreciate it.
You deserve it.
For hip hop, so full disclosure, this Super Bowl halftime show was not for the normal folks. He did do some things I thought was dope. He made an amazing presentation. He did kind of talk about racial tensions in the world and all that stuff. However, this was about one guy, one guy in Toronto that he truly hates, and he went out of his way to front on that man.
Right.
So the chain. That's a small A for A minor. So he started with the disrespect, this with the fit alone. The field, it started out as a parking lot, which is a Compton parking lot in his neighborhood. When you expand it out, it actually came up to be a PlayStation controller. You know why? Because Sony owns the label of Drake. So he was dissing Sony. Then he put Serena Williams in the X of that PlayStation controller because she dated Drake. And what was she doing? Crip walking. So there was so many layers of shade in that 30 minutes. I want y'all to understand, never cross a sociopath that can rap, because this is what happens when you do such things. Because that was brutal stuff. Now, did Drake deserve all that? I don't know. I don't know the man personally, but damn. I can say damn, son.
Hey, that was nice, man.
He's the king of petty. And I'm missing some stuff. There's so many layers to his pettiness. Like, we can go take it back to the Grammys. When he wore that jean suit, that's called a Canadian tuxedo. So he's been in shade mode ever since the summer, dog. That's not the man you want to have a rap battle with. He played too much.
And the fact that, and then there's a political side to it, and I'm not going to get all into that. It's just the fact that Sam Jackson being, like
Uncle Sam Jackson is wild.
Like the master of ceremonies was crazy, man. Like, I didn't even pick it up because, when I'm watching the Super Bowl, I'm looking for entertainment. I'm not in woke mode. I'm drunk. I'm probably drinking. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
I'm probably drunk, but I'm in entertainment mode. So I'm listening to the music. I'm loving the lights and the formations and things of that nature. It's the next day where things started clicking. Like the level of pettiness that this man has is ridiculous. And then like, you know, I'm with everybody that you know, the woke people or whatever that caught it when it first, you know, came on. Good for you. But if my only knock about it was, I was like, dang, I wish the people that don't know the songs could really understand the lyrics that go along with it. And
thank you.
That was my only knock, is the music was louder than the vocals. And because go ahead.
I'll even take it a step further, bro.
Okay.
This was for a hip hop community only, and people who know the story. I feel like you would sit there, you'd be like, oh, the song sounds nice, but I don't know what the hell he's talking about. Yeah. If you were not actually a Kendrick Lamar person, this halftime show kind of wasn't for you. So in the annals of time, this will be on the lower scale as far as like entertainment purposes, because it was compelling, but it wasn't exactly entertaining. It was more like it was an extended speech with music. I would call it that.
I agree with you, but I didn't realize what I was watching. I didn't realize that at the time, because like I said, I really wanted the entertainment part of it. I mean, that's why we kind of watch the Super Bowl, even if our team's not in it. It's more so just to be entertained. We want the commercials. We want the halftime show to be fired. You know, we want the glam and the glitz type of stuff. But then when we break it down the next day after our hangovers and things wear down, it's like, oh, this is fire. What did I miss? How did I miss all this? How did I miss all these anecdotes? Like, I didn't even notice the PlayStation controller in the middle. I didn't even know. Full disclosure, I didn't even realize that Serena had even dated Drake. So like, you know what I'm saying? So that hit me. Then the formation, I did see the formation of the flag with, you know, the all male. I didn't even know that his dancers was all male, you know, black dancers. You know what I'm saying? I didn't realize that. But just everything was so, I had never seen petty and precision the way that it was, man.
Oh,
it's just crazy.
Yeah, that is not the guy to have that problem with, sir.
But Michelle said, oh my God, find someone that gets it. But
because I can say an argument where I would say if I wasn't a hip hop person looking for those things, this was not a really compelling thing that the casual fan would tune in to see. Because I can honestly tell you there's about 3 records that I love about Kendrick Lamar, and the rest of the catalog is like, meh. And if you play some of that other stuff that I don't hear about, I couldn't tell you. So it's not like when you get Michael Jackson or Bruno on the screen where you're like, oh, that's blah, blah, blah. That's blah, blah, blah. There was no slaps to it. You know what I'm saying? I think it was just to appease people.
This was the genius of the whole thing, right? So he was telling a story through that. And most people that only, like, I'll use myself as an example. But, I love Kendrick. Most people that was watching that was like, this is crap. This is crap. This is crap. Oh, I know this song. This is fire. And that's exactly what he was trying to get away from as far as the entertainment. So like, it was so genius. But at the same time, what I didn't like, and I saw this on Michelle's post, so I'm giving Michelle a shout out on this. It's like, why are you coming for the people that watched it and caught it on the first watch or whatever, and then saying you didn't like it because you didn't get the message? That's some crap. You know what I'm saying?
It was entertaining to me because I'm a petty person, and I find this to be masterclass in petty. Yeah, and I'm a hip hop guy. But if I'm a casual fan, what song is this? Now I got to be on my phone trying to figure out what the hell they're talking about. You know what I'm saying? It does not compel the casual fan to draw them into a new Kendrick Lamar audience.
It doesn't rank up there with the other performances on a visual level, as far as like Michael Jackson, Prince, and everybody else. You got to look at this from a whole different level. And yes, Michelle, I know people were brutal. I mean, I saw it in the comments, and
and I'm gonna take it a step further. Yeah. I will take it one step further. I will go ahead and say this, that I felt the same way about the Beyonce performance. I felt like it was dope for what it was, but it was very pointed. It wasn't like, oh, we about to bring out the Destiny's Child, we about to run it back. It was more like, yo, we about to make this stand because we in Oakland, and y'all just gonna have to live with it. If you're the casual fan, and I'm not talking about white people, I'm talking about casual fan because not everybody listens to hip hop.
Yep.
You tune into the Super Bowl to be entertained, and if you give me a little education, cool. But sometimes you could take your political views too far in the wrong space, and it only only widens the gap. It doesn't make people say, "Oh, well, I seen Kendrick Lamar talk about black people on Today Show. I feel better about myself." Like, no, you're only gonna piss people off because they watch these sports to get away from that shit. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So I can make an argument both ways. Me as a hip hop head and a lover of myself and my culture, loved it. Mm-hmm. But if I'm a casual fan that don't watch this stuff, because we can't assume that all people of color love hip hop because they don't. Exactly. I can make an argument that it was boring and kind of confusing. You know what I'm saying? I can make the argument both ways.
So I'm with you, and man, this was a great conversation to have. I didn't think that we would be talking about the Super Bowl halftime show in the fashion that we are, and the passion that it brought about the next day. I was like, wow,
absolutely.
Michelle says, in the history of Super Bowls, who was watching for a deep message? Nobody, because half of us are drinking beers and cheering and eating food. So, it's amazing how far the Super Bowl halftime show has come. I mean, just be thankful that we do have a Kendrick Lamar performer. Yes. Be thankful we had a Beyonce, a Usher, a Michael Jackson. I mean, you know what I'm saying? Like, not even Michael Jackson. I'm just saying the hip hop that what was that when Dr. Dre, Snoop, and all them.
Oh my gosh! I marked out. I was a fan that day.
I know, right?
I marked out. I ain't gonna hold you. Yeah,
but just the fact that we have that, sends a good message. But the NFL is still got a lot of work to do.
Oh yeah, well, our society does.
Right.
Our whole society's jacked up. But I'll say it like this, right?
Go ahead.
We still need outlets. Everything's on fire right now. Mm-hmm. People need a break. So sometimes we just want to watch a show and not be inundated by no one's views or something. We just want to watch it for the entertainment value, let our brain take a break so we can reset and deal with this stuff tomorrow. Yep. So if you're a person that say, yo, I don't get it, I don't feel it, I'm with you.
Oh,
there's nothing wrong with you for not feeling like you didn't get it on the first try. You didn't catch all these meta discs and stuff like that.
Yep.
Ain't nothing wrong with that. It's an entertainment package, and it's going to be all good.
You right.
Jay-Z about to get fired.
Well, look what I found out, and I'm glad Michelle brought that up. I found out that this was the last. His contract is up.
Oh no! When did he set the whole world on fire?
I just found out, but that's what I just heard off the radio. I think this is his last year. So let me preface it by that. So let me do my fact check. But I think that
Michelle said she heard that too. So
yeah. So I think if that's valid, way to go out on a bang with a bang.
Yeah, absolutely.
Hey,
like, this is my last day at work anyway. Oh hell with it. Let him say it. Say what you say, boy. Say what yes.
Do what you gotta do. And I'm not mad about it. So I'm happy about it. My petty bill, just real quick. You ain't even got to say it. You don't even have to. No, you don't even have to do banner. The thing is like, man, what are you doing, Sony? Were you worried about the Super Bowl and you forgot about the entertainment face of Sony PlayStation? Because a lot of us were just so bored, didn't know what to do. I mean, I read a book. I'm playing. I read, but
I read a book. No, I'm lying. I ain't reading.
I did read, but it's crazy because this is the second time that we don't know. Well, I haven't heard anything about it being hacked again, but they tried to. It's almost like it was almost a cover up to say like, yeah, we're down because we're doing maintenance. And
on a Friday
night, and it took more than 24 hours before. Well, I won't say more than. I think it was. I don't even know what time it came back up. I was so mad.
I think I want to say Saturday evening-ish before it came back.
Yeah, and the only reason I turned my game back on because a couple of people that some of my friends were on, and I was like, oh dang. So she said, "What are you doing? Sony is right."
Yeah.
And it's crazy because Sony is the only one that goes down like this. I don't recall Microsoft, Xbox, or anything going down. And some of the people in the chat was saying, "Hey, maybe you should invest in a PC or Xbox." I was like, "Maybe you're right. I don't know."
Right.
But
I don't think the people who own these companies understand the impact of video games. And I've had this conversation a million times.
Okay.
A lot of people are struggling. We're getting back to this thing of struggling. They need an outlet.
Yes.
If you had a crappy day at work and all you want to do is play Call of Duty, go drink a beer and go to sleep, and that is your outlet.
Yes.
Now you're taking it away from me?
Preach.
You know what I'm saying? So they have to be more cognizant of the people they are serving. Yeah, it's not just a kids game anymore. This is a way of life for some folks, and me too. I'm one of those people who play video games every day.
Yes,
it's an outlet. It keeps me in the house. It keeps money in my pocket because I'm not outside. So when you take that away from the people, you're going to have a lot of angry customers because this ain't the first time Sony's been down. They actually crashed right when at their launch.
Yep.
On Christmas. You know what I'm saying? So they usually found the worst time in the world to like, oh, we're out. Bye.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
That's exactly how I felt. I was like, this is Super Bowl Sunday. And the fact that Kendrick went after not just Drake, but Sony.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't know how to connect the dots, but there's a dot there that connects this crap together. I don't know where though.
I'll say it like this: it was a better connection than Sony had Friday and Saturday, so that's my one per list.
Oh, I like it.
Man, I can't wait to pay myself. It's gonna be great.
Man, that was amazing. That was a good one. Right. Let's go ahead and hit the Mike-ism.
Indeed, sir. I got two.
All right,
My bad, Mike. I didn't mean to cut you off, dog.
Oh no, you good. I got my second one. I'm ready. So
right on.
Go ahead.
Today we're going to read a couple more verses from the book of Black Star, chapter No Fear of Time, and we're going to read from verse So Be It. Life is 10% of what happens to you and 90% of how you respond to it. I'll say it one more time for our friends on Instagram. Life is 10% of how you respond to it and 90% of how you respond to it. I think I said that wrong, but anyway. Until the Jets smartened up and moved on from Aaron Rodgers. Bye, Aaron Rodgers. Bye. We don't miss you. You got Robert Saleh fired. He had a good team before your behind came up there. I'm about to say something really horrible. Before your behind came up with the Jets. All right, second one. Life isn't about finding yourself. It's about creating yourself. I'll say it one more time for our friends on Twitch. Life isn't about finding yourself. It's about creating yourself. In the same way Drake created his own worst enemy and got publicly dog-walked.
I hear you.
Poor guy.
Hey, y'all know the saying. We taking this thing to infinity and behind. We say behind because we celebrate every moment it took for us to get here today.
Except for Drake.
At this moment.
I'm sorry.
So this Mike-ism that I got, I mean, you can take it any way that you like. I mean, it's so fitting in so many different areas, right?
Mm-hmm.
The entendres are unlimited. So with that, it's almost like unlimited entendres. Y'all get it. But anyway.
Star Wars reference. I'll put that on board. Star Wars reference.
Just because you can doesn't mean you should.
Wow.
Let's lift each other up. I'll say it one more time. Just because you can doesn't mean you should. Let's continue to lift each other up.
I'm such a 7-year-old because I took that way wrong.
Maybe you didn't. Shout out to Liv. And then nice. the last one is a little philosophical. Yeah. You can add days to your life, but you can add life to your days.
Oh wow!
Yeah, so you can add days to your life. I'm sorry. You can't. It worked either way though. You can't add days to your life, but you can add life to your days. That's what I was trying to say.
Hey, dog, it's kind of true because let's say you had 20 years, you made yourself a life sentence in jail.
Oh,
you did add to your life.
Hey, you know what?
The more you know.
The more you know. Hey, look.
Yes.
They said, what's the longest sentence? What's the longest sentence in the what's the longest sentence?
In jail?
In general.
Like
I am. They say I am is the longest sentence, but I do is really the longest sentence.
I was thinking about. I was like, I don't know if I should.
That's it. I'm done. Have a great night, everybody. Say no.
Mr. Mike, tell them how they can find you. I was like, that is such a loaded question. I don't even know how I should answer that.
I don't even think I asked it right, but you get it. You can follow me on Instagram. I am _1Mike. if you got any Mike-isms or any crazy sayings that you want repeated. By the way, man, just because you can doesn't mean you should. That was brought to you by my coworker Sharita. She definitely killed it with that one. I just added the little part at the end. So thank you very much.
Appreciate it.
And yeah, like I said, you follow me on Instagram. I am _1 Mike. And on that note, I'll check y'all next week. Thank y'all so much for tuning in. As always, we definitely appreciate you. And yeah, I'm out.
Hey, I'm RG. You can catch me on Instagram under RGainsII. Also, check out our website, the United Front Network.com. We have merch. We have our latest episodes. All that stuff is on there. We do appreciate you. If you do decide to come to my Instagram under RGainsII, please be respectful. We are a respectful company for the most. And we just ask for the same thing in return. I usually say block you, but that's a little harsh. But yeah. So I did anything, feel free to hop into the DMs and we'll have a conversation. And I'm always happy to have people watch the show. Thank you very much.
Yes.
Good night there, Michelle Wilwanell. We are out. Lady D, I'm sure she has some words of wisdom somewhere, but we're not mature enough to remember them, so we're just gonna leave.
Yeah, peace.
See you next week, folks. All right, hey Mike, what are we talking about next week?
What are we talking about next week?
You know what? Considering what we just talked about, let's talk about sports in a way where either political statement or entertainment.
Oh, I like that. That'll get the people going.
Yeah. Got provocative. Got to keep people going. So, that's our topic, folks. Now I got to make sure I watch the show and make sure I pin it in because I'm making it up on top of my head.
Sports and politics. Let's go.
Okay, bye.
Bye.